5, 4, 3, 2.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
All right. This, that, and the other radio show doing the simulcast here with the boys in Lost Hearts. And you just heard another track, Night to Remember, from them. And we've been spinning them for quite some time here on this, that, and the other radio show. So I'm doing this simulcast thing here. I'm running the video. We're on the radio. It's everything. It's more than I can handle. But anyway, let's bring the guys on and add them to the stage here, see how they are doing. Hey, boys, do we have you?
What's going on, man?
Hey, bro, hang on one second. Let me just bring this down here. Make sure we get some good volume on you guys. All right, so who do I have left to right? My left, your right.
Well, our camera's backwards, so we're kind of confused.
Yeah, but
Well, that's all right. That's all right. We'll figure it out.
Here we have,
we'll start from this side.
I'm JT,
Victor.
Max, Mitch.
All right, so you know what I'm reading is that everybody plays guitar, but for some reason you guys wanted to be in a band together all as guitar. Is this true? You guys are all guitar players by trade?
This is somewhat true, yes. We are all guitar players, and they share the duties primarily of guitar and bass, and I play as well. And then Mitch is the drummer, but Mitch also plays guitar as well. And so that's what we've been working on lately, is trying to find a way that we're trying to get Victor up to par for just one song on drums, so we can bring Mitch out there and have him play a song on guitar with us.
Yeah, we're getting there.
As long as you don't have to move the drums, though, right, bro?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's no fun. All right. So, hey, where do you guys all hail from? Because I sensed just, checking out some other interviews with you guys, a little bit of an accent on one of y'all. So, somebody from South America?
I am from Brazil.
Right on. How the heck did you end up in Nash, Vegas?
Well, so I moved here right before COVID to work with the band, and I ended up meeting through Max through actually it was not a tribute. We knew each other because of the tribute bands. We played in tribute bands before and stuff like that. And I was in Atlanta at the time, and we started hanging out. It was funny because I needed a fill-in guitar player, and Max came in one time. We played it together, and he maybe moved to Nashville. So that was pretty much it. But I came from Brazil to here to do music. So.
Right on. And then are the rest of you guys from the Midwest there?
Yes. Yeah.
Very cool. So how did you guys get together, though, all kind of primarily being guitar players, playing in different bands? What made you guys decide, hey, we should start a band together, and this guy's got to be the drummer and lug all the drums around, and you're going to play bass? And how'd you guys figure out all that?
Well, I mean, so me and Victor met, and we were friends, to be honest. Like, we were like best friends from like the moment we met, and we did gigs together and stuff because, like I said, we were in the tribute bands together. Not the same ones, but it's like all the same dudes. So we knew each other, and we shared shows together. And so we met through that, became really good friends. And then, we started talking about doing our own band, but that came after a while just because we were focused on being hired guns kind of, and just working, playing gigs and stuff every weekend. And so it came pretty slowly, but we started to write songs, and then Victor knew JT as well through another band he was in.
And I stole him.
Yeah. Stolen John. And so yeah, we started writing songs with JT because JT is really good at like more of the production side, and so that's when it started to be more like, okay, we have something concrete here. And we found Mitch just literally on Instagram through hashtag Nashville drummer.
Nashville
Like,
drummer.
and so we found people and we were like, okay, we'll use this guy. And then boom, that's how it started.
Right on. So you guys have been putting out new material for the last year or so. I've got a handful of songs, 4 of them from you. We've been spinning them on this show. I'm buds with Izzy. Eddie's been on this show. He talked about you guys as well as being an up-and-coming band. He's a big fan of a lot of these up-and-coming bands doing what you guys are doing. What are some of the up-and-coming bands? I got a few that I could name, but I want to hear what you guys are there some bands out there sort of in the same position that you guys are in that you're kind of looking at for, you know, the trail that they're blazing? Because there are quite a few organic rock bands. And I will say you guys have a little bit of a different flair, and we'll get into some of those influences in a little bit. But are there some bands out there that are making some headway as a new band that you guys are kind of monitoring and watching and using for guidance, so to speak?
I mean, I do a lot of that, like a lot. The guys know I'm always on my phone and stuff, and I'm always looking into, you know, what the other bands are doing. So there's a couple bands that I really look when we're doing this. There's a band from Canada called Broken Love. They're great. Look, like, you know, looks, the sound, everything is like cool. So I look into them. Of course, Måneskin is great. We do look at them. What else, guys? What else do we look into? We've been trying, because honestly, we listen to a lot of like older bands and stuff. At least me, Max, and JT. Mitch is a little more. He likes some new stuff.
But all of us love the classic rock.
Yeah,
a lot.
So we're trying to like always find new bands to kind of, you know, get inspiration and see how everything is going.
I will say one newer band that we played with recently. They're called Beauty School Dropout. We just did a sold out show. We opened for them in Nashville a couple weeks ago, but just kind of watching how you know, they did their meet and greet, how they went about their business with their show, and how they just everything about how they conducted themselves. Like, it was just really cool to see that and to talk to them even after the show and kind of take some guidance. And so that would, as far as to answer your question, like newer bands, that's definitely one that I can recall off the top of my head that has played that role for us.
Have you guys released a full-length album at all, or are you just putting out singles at the moment?
No, so we just have 4 songs out right now.
Right on. So tell me a little bit about that strategy. Obviously, we live in a world where there is stuff coming from everywhere, and it's a lot to absorb. There's, especially with social media and, you know, what AI and God knows what is out there, 18 billion streaming services. So, you know, a band dumps an album on you and maybe you get into a couple songs and then you kind of move along. Are your songs, because, you know, a lot of the old bands, it seems like the bands that you guys look up to, when they put an album out, maybe it's not a concept album, but the songs kind of tie together. It's from 6 months together in a, you know, storage shed or something that these guys are writing the songs with. And you guys are kind of putting them out on their own, sort of separately. But do you see them at some point coming together in you know, one package as one album? And then the other part of that is, you know, because I've actually noticed a little bit of progression in sound in some of the songs you're putting out. I'm hearing different touches and different influences, but it all sounds like one band. So tell me a little bit about the strategy of doing singles versus trying to put out an EP or a full-length album.
JT.
Yeah, it seems like now the singles are kind of the way to go, just because people have such short attention spans, and that way we can kind of milk each song for as much as we can. And then eventually
what were we talking about again?
Album.
Talking about singles versus album.
I'm just fucking with you guys. You said short attention span. So sorry, man. It's my terrible comedy of the show. But yeah, so you guys are putting out individual songs. Do you see you tying them together? Can you see them all being cohesive on one release at some point?
Well, I think yes, because they're similar in a way, but different, because we don't know what we are. So like, we don't know where we want to go. That's what we're pretty much doing now. We're trying, like, we're putting the songs together, saying, hey, it doesn't matter the vibe. If it's good, if we like it, we'll release it. So I feel like we're gonna get to the point of releasing them all together and make sense in an album. But as far as now, we're just putting the singles out. We're not like really thinking of like, oh, this match this or not. We're just experimenting a lot.
And that's the thing is like I would kind of feel weird about. I think we're gonna do like an EP, and we're gonna put a couple more songs on there, and then we're gonna release that, and that'll be it. It'll be like these are the first Lost Hearts songs. This is the first Lost Hearts EP, you know, that sort of thing. And then I want to move on to like an album. And of course, we'll still do some singles, but an album for me is like it all, like you said, has kind of similar vibe, a similar atmosphere. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like these songs are a little all over the place because like we would go record a song and then play a bunch of shows and then come back and it's like we're a new band.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys are still seemingly evolving to me because I've noticed when I've played, you know, as the songs get released every few months and you've put out 4, the most recent being Adam and Eva, I'm like, oh, that's a little different than the first one I heard, you know, and so, but you guys are evolving, and I think it's cool for fans getting in on the ground floor with you guys because they get to kind of grow and evolve with you. Yeah. Which I think is a cool thing because there are not a lot of new bands for younger people and people that like this older kind of, I don't want to say nostalgia rock, because you guys are still putting a new edge on it, in my opinion. And you're pulling from different influences. It's not just the, you know, I don't want to say run of the mill, but, you know, there's the Dirty Honeys and the Rival Sons, that organic kind of Zeppelin classic rock sound. And I feel like you guys have a touch of that, but you also have kind of a new wave vibe, and we'll get to it at some point. You guys sent me kind of like your top 5 songs, so we'll do Lost Hearts top 5 when we wrap up with you, and we'll get into it because it's all over the place, which is very cool. And there's a couple of bands in there I'm not even familiar with, so we'll be hearing it for the first time here. So you guys, with these 4 singles that are out there, what does your set list consist of? Do you guys have a bunch more songs that you just haven't tracked yet, or you guys do some covers?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of both. You know, we have some songs in there. What do we have? Like 3 songs in there that we haven't recorded, or more? Maybe 4.
4 or 5. Yeah,
maybe 4 or 5 that we have not recorded. I mean, it depends on how long of a set we're doing too. But like, you know, our set now is 30 to 45 for this next tour. It's varying, but you know. So there's, like I said, about 4 songs that we haven't released, and then we do some covers as well. But the covers we have done have been anywhere from like Kiss to Depeche Mode to Duran Duran, you know, or what else have we done?
No, we
done In Excess. We did Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. So we definitely, it's kind of like our music taste, like all over the map for sure when we're doing covers.
Do each of you have your own sort of taste and you guys kind of throw it in a pot together? Yeah. Okay.
We're fine about it. Yeah.
Who's kind of the new wave guy? Because I think that adds just a little curveball to it for me, and I dig it.
I think it's definitely me.
Well, Max has started, and we're all like, first time he started showing me those bands and stuff, like I knew some of them, but like really dig deep into like, oh, let's listen to the whole first Duran Duran album or something like this. I was not familiar with, and then on the beginning I was a little like, I don't know, and now I really like it. So I think we're all getting there. Like that's but Max definitely brought like to the band this like new wave vibe.
Very cool. So the reason why you guys are even on this show is you guys have a tour coming up, and it's with 10 Years. And it's going to be it starts next week, and it's rolling through December. And then is this going into January as well?
Not that we know of.
Not that we know of.
And okay, so just the month of December, and you guys are doing some scattered dates, and you can find all of that at lostheartsband.com. Tell me a little bit about 10 Years. That's a band I'm actually not familiar with.
Well, they're a little like modern, like 2000s metal hard rock band. They sound like they go on the vibe for like Shinedown and you know, pop.
Yeah, but kind of more pop. I think,
you know? They're pretty good.
They've got really good songs.
Heavy, but like melodies and stuff. Like 3 Days Grace, like more on that vibe too.
they definitely have a following. I mean, a lot of these shows.
We're a big band.
Yeah, a lot of these shows have gotten to low ticket warnings. I know that one of the Knoxville dates is sold out, so they definitely seem like they have a strong following.
Right on. How did you guys get connected with them and, discuss going out on the road as direct support for them? Because, I know there's a lot of bands trying to get that stage time, like, hey, just let me get up there. And, the tricky part about being a new band is, well, can you bring anybody to the table? Number one, are you good? And are you going to keep people there and go, wow, that's a great, because I think it's important for a headliner to have good support, because when the package is good, it's good for everybody. How'd you guys get connected with them and got the real estate to get on before them each night?
Well, we've the thing about me and Victor can attest to this, is like, the way that we've gotten most of the stuff is just through playing in other bands and playing in the tribute bands and meeting people and just like really getting out there. And I think that's the only way to do it, to be honest. Like, cause but like we see like Instagram bands, that are like, they'll have the numbers or something, but at the end of the day, they're not playing. And the reason is because, it's hard. Like you said, it's very hard, but luckily that's one thing we kind of had a leg up on, because we've all been playing shows.
Yeah, it's it's all the connections, man. That's where it's at. I mean, it's hard work. It's like we got this this tour through an agency, but the first time we worked for them, they called us and we're in Michigan, and they said, hey, Saturday night, hey, can you guys play in Alabama Sunday?
Yeah.
But we knew there was like, some people that could help us. And we're like, yes, we'll of course we'll do it.
Yeah.
And then they got a show, but it's all connections and, friends from the business that we had. And we've been very, very lucky and blessed to, we did some good shows in the summer, but It's all about that, man. We're just working hard, always out there, always trying. We play any show. Lost Hearts shows up. That's one thing about us.
We've done a lot.
Right on. You guys are most recently working the Adam and Eve track, and I got a little.
I wanna taste your blood, I wanna take a look, just like Adam and Eve. I wanna disavow our virtues, show me your truth. Now we're carried away, too late to break, cast out like a couple of thieves. You lost your white lace when we fell from grace.
So you guys are putting out some real nice videos. Who's funding this? Who's selling their soul out there? All four of you guys, because you guys, all your videos look great.
Well, actually, my mom is a videographer.
Wow, rad!
Yeah.
And so is she also helping direct, or are you guys coming up with the concepts, or is it all collaboration?
It's definitely all collaboration, but she's a big part of it. And so yeah, we had to come up with the money pretty much to pay the guy to do the fire and stuff, or any of our videos have been that. It's been, we got to come up with the money. Okay, we got to rent a place. But my mom has all the lights and she has like the camera and stuff. So she just films it for us.
Right on. That's cool.
That's actually the first time we've said that, but
yeah, that's
true. The truth.
Hey, breaking news right here on This, That, and the Other radio show. I'm talking right now with Lost Hearts over in Nashville, Tennessee. And we're talking about the newest single, Adam and Eve, as well as their tour coming up very soon, lostheartsband.com. It starts next week in December with 10 years. And you guys are direct support for them, correct?
Yes.
Right on.
It's just us, and all the shows are just us and them. And then they have one day that we're not playing, and it's the guy from Breaking Benjamin's playing with them or something.
Yeah, I think.
But all the other shows is just us two, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Right on, right on. Question for you. We talked about influences in some of these older bands. Whose parents brought you guys? Because you guys are in your 20s, and it sounds like you guys are into some stuff from my era. How'd you guys get turned on to, the Depeche Modes and the classic 80s and 70s bands?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. It's really just the parents. I know for me, having a big influence from my mom's side, my mom's brother my uncle, he's a big record collector, big music listener. In fact, over Thanksgiving, he showed me his Discogs collection. You can like enter all your stuff, and he's still like trying to figure it out, like how to, because he's got so many records. But right now, he's got like up to 4,500 vinyls that he's just holding on to, and just kind of going through that collection. Like we just can just talk music and throwing this and that. I mentioned like rock. Oh, here's some like new rock. I mentioned jazz. He gives me that. And but I think also just like background. Like I come from like skateboarding background, so like a lot of like West Coast style, a lot of punk rock. Like Max mentioned his new wave. I had a new wave phase myself when I was in my earlier 20s. But I think end of the day, how we all came together was just the love for rock, just rock and roll, man. Just like 60s, 70s rock, man. Like that's our.
No, it's cool. It's great. I love that you guys have the enthusiasm that I once had. I don't really have it much anymore because I'm so familiar with the business and the shadiness of it. How are you guys protecting yourselves from the bullshitters and the just the nonsense that goes on out there? Have you had a little taste of some people not following through with their word? I'm actually just currently going through something pretty big right now, which I'll talk about after I let you guys go. But the business, and I'm not trying to dissuade. I love that you guys are diving in and very hands-on. It sounds like you're very hands-on, doing a lot of networking, watching what other bands are doing. Have you had any pitfalls out there so far?
JT, have we had any people not do what they've said they're going to do? Never.
God bless you. It's coming soon. Starts next week, December. No, I hope everything goes well with you guys, and you guys have a successful tour. And any issues you guys run into, you guys, improvise, adapt, and overcome, as the great Clint Eastwood once said.
That's it, man.
Hey, so I think,
like I said, with us having all kind of been playing for as hired guns and stuff, we've definitely had our fair share of that.
Yeah, for sure. It's a flaky business. It's, we all just want to be in our garage jamming, to Kiss with our friends and not have to deal with all the BS. But it is the music business, unfortunately. And sometimes that business overshadows the music, which is why we're all here in the first place, which is why you're on my show, because you guys have great new music and a great new band with definitely a young viewpoint, but with some really cool classic different roots. And there's a lot of great new bands that are out there, but you guys are throwing a little bit of stank on it, which I totally dig. Now, I think one of us has a connection, 6 Degrees of John Corabi, who's got some Dead Daisies stories back there. Yeah. Did you have to work? You work for him when they're on the road or something?
Yeah, I don't work for them anymore. They're just my friends now. But yeah, I did back then. They're some good friends, some good guys.
Yeah, they're great people, and I have a side project with Karabi in it, and I've known all those guys from the LA area, and I've seen them play. It's a great band, although it's been revolving doors of a lot of great guys. It seems like Karabi's back in, Tishy's back in, yeah. Doug's out there, and what about them when they come back to the U.S.? Any chance that you guys can hop on a few shows with the Daisies?
Man, I mean, I talked with David, which is their manager, and I don't know, because he usually don't like to book like carry bands or anything like that.
Yeah.
So they usually leave to the venues, up to the venues to do it. I talked with them a little bit, so yeah, maybe. Hopefully next year. I've talked with John and the guys. It would be great for us. I'm waiting for him to say, "Hey, hop in."
Yeah, right on. I think it'd be a good pairing, and plus you guys know each other on a personal level, and heck, even if you just do some regional shows around the Midwest, outside of your tour with 10 years, and that's starting next week for the month of December, kind of what's your game plan for the next 18 months?
Well, our game plan for the next 18 months. It's hard to say when we've been a band for like a year.
8 months.
Yeah, we released our first song in late March.
No, it was April 1st.
April 1st, actually. Okay. April 1st. But like I said, definitely an EP is next. And then we want to move on to just keep writing songs and do an album and, tour as much as possible.
We want to play.
Yeah.
Focus.
It was our it's kind of one of our bucket lists for the end of the year, per se, things that we wanted to be on a tour before the end of the year. And so we're very grateful for 10 years and everybody that made that happen, that we get to go on some sort of run like that, you know, because we've done a lot of dates, but they've kind of been scattered. You know, we've had a lot of great opportunities. We did direct support for Hailstorm this past year. And, you know, it is festivals. We played with Incubus, and, you know, we've had a lot of great opportunities, and this is just a great way to kind of kick off the year and, you know, into the next one with a lot of hard work and just trying to bring this thing to the top.
You know,
Yeah.
kind of what
You guys sound like you're doing the right thing. You're presenting yourself with lots of good opportunities and taking advantage of it. You're putting out quality material, putting out great looking videos. And that's a lot to do in the span of less than a year. So I can see how 18 months looks like a long way down the road, you know, because you're still just getting out of the gate. But you guys are firing on all cylinders for sure. Who are some of the other bands that you have toured with? Did you tour or do some dates with Mr. Chips Enough's Enough?
We played a show with them in Vegas.
I missed it. What a jagoff I am.
Bummer.
That's how we met Izzy, actually.
how
it
we
was
met
on that
Izzy.
show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's obviously how our stuff got to Mr. Eddie Trunk, and we're very grateful for that. I mean,
yeah, Izzy.
Yeah.
Izzy saved the day.
Izzy really did help us out a lot, and he came to our last show in Vegas where we were playing with Puddle of Mud at the Brooklyn Bowl.
Yes.
And that was pretty sick, and we were glad he could be there and hang with us.
But yeah, who else we played with this summer? We did Hailstorm.
Hinder.
We did a festival with
Hinder.
It was Hinder, Gray White,
Yeah.
Buck Cherry.
We did a bunch of there's this girl named Violent Vira. It was like a younger sort of pop punk. I don't even know. It's like punk, like emo, like
there's a whole mix.
It was pretty awesome. And you know, it's cool to do those things because we don't always know those younger bands, and then get on with them, and then it's we see it is cool every once in a while to play to a crowd that is you know, our age, and see that people still are out there like us and like rock music, you know.
Absolutely.
And it's been nice that we've been able to play for all these different artists, and it seems like we're pretty well received from anywhere to, like I said, like a kind of punk emo young girl to, you know, Great White, opening for Great White, and people liked us. Yeah, we opened for Corey Feldman.
All right, okay, hang on a second. Now we got something to talk about. So how was that? There's a lot of great YouTube Corey Feldman videos. I know his agent. Tell me about the Anomaly Corey Feldman. How was that?
I regret bringing this up. But how was it, bro?
I don't.
You know,
it was an experience.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know what to say about that. I mean, the crowd was fine.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a good show. It was a great turnout.
It was a good show.
We didn't really talk to him.
No. Were you able to look him in the eyes, or is he?
We were. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I think that was loud.
He's very
unique,
and you know, he was very the security bringing him to the stage. I'm like, okay. You know.
In this small,
a little club, dude. It's all right.
Yeah. Well, in Detroit.
It was with 100 people. It's security bringing you to the stage and all that. It's man.
Yeah, it's trippy. I mean, you know, he is legendary in his own mind. But listen, the guy's done some great movies, but I just don't get the whole Michael Jackson thing and the whole. I don't even know really what's going on with that. I love that you guys opened up for him because he's drawing people. I don't know if it's a curiosity factor.
He can actually dance.
He can dance, and
I'll
some
say
cool
that.
outfits.
Cool
I want
outfits.
those outfits.
He can really dance.
Yeah. Right on. Hey, let's get into, which we'll spin when we let you guys go here momentarily. We're on here, This, That, and the Other radio show, also simulcasting to the YouTube and the Facebook page for my show, This, That, and the Other, at Dirty Radio FM channel 2, Dirty Radio Classics. We're going to do the Lost Hearts top 5, and you guys sent me some songs. We'll spin them after we let you go. Want to see who picked the song and why. There's a couple here I'm not even familiar with. So Seasons is one of them by Future Islands. Tell me a little bit about that. Is it an influence or just a really cool song you dig?
So a little bit of both, man. Kind of like my later years when I was in college, I was going through a really big like synth pop and like indie pop vibe, and that's what a lot of Future Island stuff is. A lot of synth work in there. It's really upbeat, which I really like too. But the vocals, like the vocalist, he just has such a pure and a rawness to his vocal performances, even in the studio. And it hits different, man. And right now in my life, I don't know why. I mean, a really good friend of mine introduced me to them like 10 years ago, but now like that record is that song's off is from 2014. But now it's just weird how that's like, this is how music just comes and goes anyway. Like it's come back into my life now somehow, some way. And it's just really resonating with me personally. As far as influence goes, it's not really like influencing anything per se, specifically right now, but it should. It should.
Some cool stuff.
But yeah, that's the vibe of that one.
Right on. Well, it's cool that sometimes you're in a different headspace at one point in your life, and then you move on to a different spot and something just hits you. And that's the cool thing about music, whether it's new or old. If it's 10 years old, but you've never heard it, it's new to you. And if it's something you can embrace, that's cool. I totally dig it. All right. The next one here on the list is Honey, Are You Coming? Maneskin, cool band. We spin that song on here. They just did a collaboration with Dolly Parton doing Jolene. So, I think that those guys are cool. And I kind of feel like you guys kind of fit a little bit of a vibe of what they're doing out of all these other new kind of organic rock bands. I feel that could be a nice pairing, Maneskin and Lost Hearts.
We tried it.
Let us know. We're trying.
All right. We'll get our people out there.
Call us. We're here, man.
Come on, Maneskin.
We're ready.
We
tomorrow.
know you're listening.
Lost Heart shows up, right?
We're ready, man.
But
This is how this stuff happens, though. You know what I mean? Something like this, come on a dumb radio show, and wow, these guys are really cool. What's up with this band? Hey, we're coming to the States. Let's take them out for a few dates. So I dig it. Stranger things have happened. Like me getting a radio show is one of them. All right, so Doctor UFO. I mean, come on. What is there to say about that? But obviously, I think you guys were, I've got socks older than you guys. So who's the UFO fan?
Yeah, I picked that one. I love that song. I love UFO. I think Michael Schenker is a super underrated guitar player. That song's got a great hook. It's got the cool guitar harmonies. It's just a great song.
Absolutely. Not much more to say about that. It's a classic. All right. Now we kind of get into this little fringe element of kind of, I don't know if it's new wave, forgive me for giving it the wrong term, but this one kind of, I hear this stuff in what you guys are doing on top of the rock stuff, and that's West End Girls, Pet Shop Boys.
Oh, I forgot that's what I chose.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. I was just telling Victor, I'm like, man, I forgot what song. Yeah, that song just came on the other day, and I was like, this is awesome. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that kind of, there's definitely an influence of that new wave, and that's definitely an element we're trying to bring, rather than just, like you said, the same old rock, and we love the same old rock, don't get me wrong, but it's just not 100% what we want to do. We want to have elements of that, elements of new wave, elements of whatever, like In Excess. In Excess was kind of new wave, kind of rock, it's its own kind of thing.
For sure. And I love that you guys are biting out all the different apples out there and making it your own, last one was Let It Go, Def Leppard. Now there's that kind of, classic 80s, dare I say hair metal or 80s rock and roll. And that one's kind of out of everything else that you have in there. That's also a little bit of a wild card. So tell me a little bit about, did you guys get into the Motley Crues and the Poisons and all that stuff?
That's our main thing. Like here in this bit, that's what we listen to a lot most of the time, and that's what at least me, JT, and Max grew up listening to. I feel like
that's what we said, because we all chose a song, and then we were like, what's something that we listen to as a band? And when we're on the road, Def Leppard, Rat, Wasp. And everything else, the new wave, but certainly we bump a lot of hair metal on the road. Just, it's something that everybody can vibe with.
Yeah. It keeps the spirits high.
It keeps the spirits high. It keeps you awake while you're driving.
Yeah, for sure. Those long drives from Detroit to Alabama, you need a good iPod. So next time we meet, we do it in person. We should swap iPods because you guys have some good stuff. So we're talking here, Lost Hearts with Max, JT, Victor, and Mitch. LostHeartsMusic.com. They are going on the road with 10 years. And it's starting all next week in the month of December. It looks like you guys got some Florida dates and all sorts of good stuff here. Let me just bring the screen up here. So I've played a couple of these places. Club LA in Destin, that's a good one. Chattanooga, Masquerade, I've played that one. Atlanta, the Orange Peel in Asheville. And then I see Knoxville, Tennessee on the 15th. So you guys will be out there for a couple weeks, tearing it up with 10 years. Promoting the latest single, Adam and Eve, as well as the other 3 singles that we're going to continue to spin here on This, That, and the Other radio show. Anything I missed, boys?
Not quite, man.
No,
thank you so much for having us. Yeah, we can't wait to be on the road. And thank you for spinning our music on here and having us on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for putting out some good stuff and some interesting stuff. And, the younger generations have a lot to say. So keep saying it. Say it loud and proud. And thanks for coming on This, That, and the Other radio show here at DirtyRadio.fm, Channel 2 Dirty Radio Classics. And, of course, simulcasting, which is always a lot of fun. I'm a one-man show. But you can find this interview, if you missed it, on the YouTube, as well as on the This, That, and the Other radio show Facebook page. All of that information, links to everything, will be linked at drummertroy.com. All right, Lost Hearts, you guys are done. Get back to rocking and rolling, man, and appreciate you guys coming on the show, and thanks again for your time.
Thank you, Troy. We enjoyed it, man.
All right, you guys. A lot of fun, man. Take care, guys.
All right.
Peace. All right, there they go. Kicking them off the stage. All right, This, That, and the Other radio show, Dirty Radio.fm, Channel 2 Dirty Radio Classics. I am not wearing a purple shirt. I am not into Barney. I don't know what's up with his camera, but that's why we do radio. And I think the hair is definitely due for a dye job. So I'm going to boot myself from the airwaves here. I'm going to kick myself out of this room. I'm going to leave the studio. But if you're tuned in at DirtyRadio.fm on Channel 2 Dirty Radio Classics, then you're still checking us out. It's all good in the hood. So we're going to leave the radio show, video part of it, right now with a little Lost Hearts, Adam and Eve. And then I'll be back with more This, That, and the Other radio show, DirtyRadio.fm, Channel 2, Dirty Radio Classics.
I wanna taste your blood, I wanna take a look, just like Adam and Eve. I wanna disavow our virtues, show me your truth. Now we're carried away, too late to break, cast out like a couple of thieves. You lost your white lace when we fell from grace, just like Adam and Eve. Say goodbye to the apples that you sit afraid, just like Adam and Eve. Might not make it to heaven, but I'll make you believe, just like Adam and Eve. Flick of the tongue, rattle and tail, let your inhibitions run. Throw your faith away.